all you wonderful people in Facebook or YouTube land, wherever you might be watching this video. My name is Jeremiah Gibson and I'm from Maricopa, Arizona. Today I wanted to do a little testimonial about the wonders that Donna Richardson's Body Gospel have done for me. I have a history in this being big, and it's kind of hereditary in my family that most of the people on my mother's side of the family are very big people and around people that much. But I mean, Body Gospel has definitely helped me, and it's been that driving force that has actually motivated me to continue on and to continue getting fit and to actually want to get fit. Now, I wanted to give a little bit of my history, just real quick. Ever since I was a boy, I think when I was 10 years old or 11, but before I hit puberty, I was pretty thin, actually, and I've only weighed like probably 120, soaking wet. I mean, that was actually my weight for a long time, from the time I was 5 to 10. I think as I kind of gained more weight, I was 120 the most, maybe even 130. After I hit puberty, I realized I started to really gain weight a lot, rapidly. My legs started to get bigger, my chest started to get bigger. To be real with you guys, yeah, I do have actually a big chest. I do have very big breasts, bigger breasts than what men are normally used to having. And I realized that those started to develop by the time I was 13, and I was trying to figure out what's happening. Okay, what's happening with my body? But I will say, for the last 10 years of my life, and I'm 21 as I'm recording this video, I have turned to food as my vice. Now, dealing with a lot of emotional torments and a lot of different things going on in my mind and body for the last 10 years, and just a lot of different things that happened to me while I was a teenager, caused me to turn to food as my vice, since I had no interest in drugs or no interest in cigarettes or alcohol, any of that crap. I actually just turned to food. And one of the biggest vices of mine that I had, the biggest vice of all the snack kind of foods, junk foods. I mean, not only did we eat out a lot, but one of the biggest vices I had were potato chips. Were Lay's potato chips and State Line potato chips, and sometimes Utz. Those are the three main brands that I would eat all the time, because those, that would be my vice. When I ate potato chips, and sometimes I would buy a big party bag. And when I ate the potato chips, I would go into this world and kind of escape my reality as I was doing it, and I did it a lot. And I remember my mom used to come up and say, because she would watch me eat. This is when I was much younger. She would say, "Jeremiah, you always hum while you eat. It's almost like you're in another world while you're eating." And I used to say, "Oh, Mom, you're always making fun of me," or whatever. I mean, that's the kind of attitude I had at the time. But as I look back at it, and as I've gained 100 pounds, over 100 pounds since I was just a teenager, since I was 10 or 11, because I think by the time I was, I think 17 or 8, and by the time I was 19, I weighed 240. So it was I look back at that, and I'm actually realized that yes, I turned to food, and even as I was eating, I would just go into this world. I would just escape. So I would just mindlessly eat. I mean, I would be neat with my eating. I mean, it wasn't eating like a caveman, but still, it was this mindless eating, where I would just go into another world as I did it, and I would hum and daydream, and just a lot of different stuff. So it's as I did it, as I ate things like fast food, and as I ate things like potato chips, a lot of that creeped up on me, and it happened, after a period of 10 years, I would gain all this weight. And for a long time, I was so dissatisfied with my looks. I was so dissatisfied with how I appeared to be to me. I'm even going to the pool. I would never take my shirt off. I would never do it because I was ashamed of how I looked. And I was never motivated. I never thought I had the motivation to actually work out because I never liked the feeling I get when I felt the burn. So it was just a lot of stuff that I was dealing with, and I never thought I could ever work out. Now, as far as like weight loss was concerned, my mom had something called gastric bypass surgery back in 2006. And if you don't know what that is, that's actually a surgery where they open up her stomach and they actually staple the top of it, making they staple the bottom of it, actually making the top of the stomach smaller, so you can only digest smaller portions of food. So she had that done. And after that, she would have to get exercise after that, and she would have to change her diet after that because she couldn't digest everything. So back in 2006, or I think it was either 2006 or 2007, I ended up changing my diet with her, and I would eat what she ate. I would have I think she ate like little portions of fish. She would have very small portions, and for a while, I was actually losing weight. But still, I had these cravings to eat and just eat really junky food. And still, I was going through a lot of emotional things. So, like as I said before, drugs and alcohol were not an option, for me personally, or even cigarettes. So I would turn to food. Food was my drug of choice. So, I would never go to the gym. And if I did, it would only be for a minute. I think by the time I was like 17, I think I went to the gym a few times with my mom. But that didn't last. So I was like, okay, God, am I ever going to get fit? Sometimes I would sit in bed at night wondering, is anything ever going to change with my body? And I just didn't think it ever would. I mean, I prayed about it. I would ask God about it. Like, what the heck am I going to do about my body? I mean, I know that I'm like consuming very unhealthy foods. I mean, I know that I have all these emotional things that I was dealing with, and it turned to like eating a lot, and like, God, what can I do? So once I moved to Arizona back in 2011, I started having a little bit more of a desire to be a lot more productive and just do a lot more things and be a lot more active. And I mean, I was always a very active guy, and even a very active kid, but it's just like personally doing things just to focus, like primarily focus on my health. But it wasn't until recently where a woman that I consider to be my spiritual mom, Mimi Caban Ross, after having known her for 2.5 years, she started her group. I mean, she started really going on a journey of making healthy lifestyle choices every day. So she contacted me on Facebook and said, "Hey Jeremiah, I want to be a part of my group." And she calls it Mimi's Bliss Fits, which is like a play on words. Instead of saying misfits, you're saying bliss fits, as in the bliss of God and happiness and joy. So she just said, "Hey Jeremiah, I want to be a part of my group." And I was like, of course. And she started her group, and she's actually a Beachbody coach. And she brought me on board her group, and after, I think it was about a month after that, after she had already started her group, and I think it was a Facebook group, and then she already was a Beachbody coach, and she did a lot of that different stuff. A month afterwards, she sent me Body Gospel, right here. I think you can see it with Donna Richardson. Now this this is really the biggest thing, and it's kind of emotional for me. I'm an emotional guy, I'll just admit it. And I'm not ashamed of it anymore. It's just my emotions are happy now. There we go. I'll put it there. That's Jesus has made me happy. But talking about this, Body Gospel has actually been that driving force in my life that has propelled me to... it's propelled me, it's compelled me, and it's motivated me to actually continue on this journey of being fit. And for a long time, I had no idea what I would ever do. I said, God, send me something, help me. Even if that means taking more walks, please, like, lessen the desire of to eat unhealthily, shiggy diggy. That's just a word I say all the time. And that's actually my Facebook name. If any of you who are watching this know me on Facebook, you probably know me by Jeremiah Shiggy Diggy Gibson. But that's a side note, and I digress. But I wanted to say that Body Gospel has definitely been a driving force. And I didn't know how I was going to get Body Gospel, because right now our family, we're not, we're not rolling in dough right now, and it's we've been like trusting God. So the fact that Mimi got me Body Gospel was really actually a birthday present. I almost forgot. She got me Body Gospel for my birthday, and she surprised me. And I think she sent me a message and said, "Hey Jeremiah, I need your address right now." And I gave her my address, and like about a week later, Body Gospel comes in the mail, and I'm like, whoa. Because it was definitely a godsend to me, and Mimi definitely heard the voice of God when she sent me Body Gospel, and